Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of In Full Stride. I'm here once again at Ballston Spa High School with one of the most complete sprinters in the state of New York and one of the coolest people I've met in my first 3 years covering track, Gabby Bozeth. Welcome on.
Yes, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, I've been a little bit absent from Section 2 this spring, so I haven't gotten to see you and all my other local friends as much, but catch me up. How have you been?
I've been good. This season's been treating me well, except for the rain. I mean, it gets annoying, but I kind of like working through it. It's pretty cool. It's cool to see how good I do during the rain, but it's been all right. It's okay.
Yeah, didn't you have like a 24/7 200 at the Shen Envy, which was crazy weather there?
Hey, that felt good. It felt kind of good in the rain. It was like a little like chill off. I don't know. It cooled me off really good, but that hurt my leg really bad.
Yeah. I mean, you've had a lot of crazy efforts throughout the season. You're the only New York State athlete in Class A that's going to be competing at the state championships who's already hit the state super standard in the 100, 200, and the 400, just kind of further emphasizing that complete level of sprinting that you've arrived at, not to mention your Section 2 record in the 300 and your 2024 New York State Championship in the 200. I just threw a lot at you guys. She's really good, but what's your favorite part about track and field and sprinting?
My favorite part about it is my teammates, definitely. I think that they really tie it all together. To me, it doesn't matter if I win or lose, just if I have a good support system and if I like who I have on the team. It's just like so much like more uplifting than just winning your race, not talking to anyone, but even losing your race and having people to talk to is so much better than like anything else to me. I think that's the most important part for me.
Yeah, and the day that we're recording this, right? It's Thursday, May 29th, the day after sectionals where you came third in the 400, and yet here you are still in very high spirits. I mean, you're literally just 11 days removed, 12 days now removed from a school record of 55:18. So you have nothing to be disappointed about. And I'm glad to see that you've gotten yourself to that place where you can just keep that constant positive mindset. Have there been any challenging moments throughout your senior year, though, where it's been difficult to keep that?
There's some, like when I'm put in 3 events that, well, especially the 400, I'm not really used to it. I'm just starting to get into it. It's been a little challenging. It's been a little challenging with me and my tendonitis and stuff. It's been hurting me. It's been getting to my head a little bit, just worried that I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to have my season come to an end really early, but I've been pushing through it. I've been icing. I've been heating. I've been doing whatever I can to help it, and just all I can think about for the 400 is that it can be over in less than a minute, so I can work through it, and I'm completely fine. It's all right.
Yeah, that's kind of what I have to remind myself whenever I run a 400 for fun these days, and all the time whenever I do it, I just think to myself, why am I doing this? Exactly. And once you run, it's just like you get to a place where your brain completely shuts off, and you could just go out there and be yourself almost. And that's another thing that, having gotten to know you, I feel like I've gotten to see you do on and off the track. Just be yourself. When did you first feel like you could do that with this sport?
I felt it in 10th grade when I finally started to come to practices. I got closer with everyone, and then my social confidence just boosted up. And especially when I became friends with other people from the different teams and stuff. I don't know. I just like to put my vibe out there. I don't pretend to be anyone else with anything.
How would you describe your vibe to those who don't know you?
I think my vibe's pretty chill, laid back. Sometimes it can be overwhelming if you don't know me, but I'm just so excited to see everyone that I know. So I'm loud and I'm jumpy, but I'm supportive, and I think I'm pretty friendly.
Yeah, definitely. Now, back to the 400 real quick before we get further into that. You haven't done a lot of it, like you said. Did you feel like it was almost an accident that you got good at it?
Yeah, I definitely just wanted to leave that to my other teammates. I did not want to try to get into that. The most that I wanted to do was a 300. So it was definitely an accident. Hitting that 38 barrier in the 300 was definitely a mistake, but it really put me up there. So
yeah, definitely. And to go from 57 in a raw, dry effort last year to now down to 55 low, do you think that's just simply getting to do it more, or have there been specific aspects of 400-meter training that you've incorporated into your sprinting routine?
I definitely think that it's because I did it more, but I'm putting way more effort into my practices now. Mm-hmm. I'm taking it way more serious now that I'm going to college for track and stuff than I did last year, definitely.
You are a future Marist University Red Fox.
Yes, I'm so happy.
And you made that decision midway through indoor, right?
Yeah, November.
Yeah, right heading into indoor. So that was a huge I'd imagine, relief for you to head into that indoor season where you ended up getting that 38.2 in the 300 at season's end.
I was so relieved. I did not want to like stress about college and anything. I knew I wanted to go to Marist. I love the coach. I love everything. Like, I knew that it would be my place, so I was so relieved that I signed so early.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Anything particular that stood out in addition about the sprinting program there?
I really liked the teammates there. When I went on my official visit, I loved everyone there because we all had like a wing stop night, and it was so perfect. It was my favorite food ever. Love it.
That's got me excited for States Weekend because back when New York States was at Middletown a couple years ago, which it's going to be again here in 2025, me and the crew, we went out to Buffalo Wild Wings after, and NCAA track and field championships were on too. So it was like we were still in track mode even after the meet. So that'll totally be fun for more wing stops with you and the team. Any favorite team memories, I suppose, here at Ballston Spa? Because I know here that's another thing you signified as being a huge game changer for you.
I don't have a specific one, but definitely going to Ocean Breeze and the Armory are like my top favorites. I think that we once went to the Armory like all together as a team, like everyone, and that was my favorite memory because all like my like close friends and stuff came with me, and it was just amazing to see what they could do at a really good indoor track, and they weren't able to do that because they haven't really traveled around that much, so it was really cool for them.
Yeah, they all usually are used to competing on HVCC and Union, which are spikeless tracks.
Yeah.
And that was probably most of what you were used to before you got seriously into it.
Yeah.
Do you remember any specific instance where you first really plugged in? I know you mentioned sophomore year. Do you remember a specific race or a specific moment where you locked in for the first time?
I think that when I got really close to one of my other teammates' times, I really realized that I could get to where I wanted to. I think when I broke the 300 school record in 10th grade, that really like did something to my brain. Like it really like just made me want to keep going, keep pushing. Like it motivated me way more.
Now, that 10th grade year was also the first year that you made New York States in the 200 at the end of outdoor season, and you were getting pretty close to sub 25 there, but it seems like you've branched out in both directions as well, not just up to the 400, but even before that down to the 100 to get below 12, and even pretty close to 7 flat in the 55, which is our main distance in the sprints here in New York. So. Yeah. How about the speed department? What's been clicking for you there?
Well, I do a lot of my practices with Patrina, and her block starts are crazy, and mine are not good. So her like me doing my block starts with her like really has helped me like more like to get explosive, I guess. And my like top end speed got way better in the 55 because I usually could just keep it to like the 60, but the 55 really got me this year. I don't know. I guess I just had more motivation to branch out into all my school records and stuff.
Yeah. Now, that's interesting that you bring up that because the 55 is the one event in which you do not unanimously hold the school record because Patrina shares it with you at 7:08.
I know.
And she's also been running some longer sprints too. So how have you been seeing her speed endurance come along to match that to you in return?
Yeah, she's getting real good. She's pushing a lot. She has the block starts, I have the endurance, but we're trying to swap it. So I need the block starts and she needs some endurance, but she already got that. She's real good.
Yeah.
She's perfect. It's all good.
Yeah. Going from a 1-2 sprinter to dropping raw 58s on her end in the 400 when you've already got girls like you that can go 55. I mean, you guys have a lot of potential and a lot of different relays as we've seen at nationals. One that I want to bring up in particular, though, probably one of my favorite moments of I wasn't even there for this, but I was watching from home. It was the sprint medley relay at nationals. This is just one of those things like we talked about earlier, just being nobody but yourself in that exact moment. You were on the 400 leg. Would you like to tell us just what happened on that 400 leg at the sprint medley?
Was that in last year's nationals?
The Philly nationals where there was the weird cut.
Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. So, okay, first off, the officials didn't really run us through anything. So I was lost. I didn't know how to do I didn't know how to run that track at all. It was an old track. Yeah. So I was very confused. Yeah.
But we love it. It's Franklin Field. It's historic.
Yes. Oh my gosh. But I just wasn't used to it, I guess. So running in there, I think that we were kind of like we weren't in the lead, but we were up there. I got pushed. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, that's fine. So I'll just catch up later. But track cut off so quick and I was so confused. I had to throw my hands up. I was like, okay, like what? So I was tripping. I tripped another girl on accident. I was like, okay, this is so crazy. Like, and I didn't know where to push for the 400 because it was so split like in a different way than my track. So I was so confused. So I didn't start pushing until the last like 90 meters. Mm-hmm. So I ran and I gave it to Harriet, but then right when I handed it to her, the 3 other girls fell, so I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. It was so confusing, but it was fun, but I felt so bad. Everyone fell. It was so bad.
That was complete chaos, but I just love how you had probably the same thing in your mind that everybody else was thinking, but you were the one to basically let everyone know how you were feeling, and not in a bad way, in a good way, right? Because it's like, track can get crazy at times. You think of cutting in, right? You want to get to that rail first. You're thinking about, how can I get to lane 1? You're going around the inside, and then you see a rail that's jutting into lane 4. It's just completely bizarre. And the only way that you can really channel that is to let the world know how you're feeling sometimes.
I just had to let it out. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know. I didn't even mean to do it. Just came to be. I don't know. I was kind of doing that like for like the majority of my races last year. I would be throwing my hands up. Like last year at States for the 55, I didn't know where the finish line was, so I threw my hands up because I stopped at the 45 meter. So I was so confused. I didn't know what I was doing, but
yeah, because there's the green line at Ocean Breeze, right?
Yeah, it was so confusing to me. I didn't know.
It still gets me even when I announce there. It's crazy. And even not just throwing your hands up in confusion, but you'll be jumping for joy and celebration when you hit a big mark that you've been striving for. Like when you win States of the 200, despite it being, your 7th race of the weekend?
Yeah.
Like, there's no feeling like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't, contain it. Like, I don't even mean to do it. It just, happens. Like, I'll just, jump around or, high-five other people and, because I feel like when I'm hype, I need to get other people hype. So I just like to express my emotions on other people. I don't know. It's just so fun. I just like to let it out. Feels good.
Have there ever been any moments where you've wondered about maybe a way that you should act in contrast to a way that you do act, which is what you're feeling and thinking in that moment? Yeah,
definitely. Before my races, I used to be really chatty and energetic and stuff, but recently I've been trying to channel it and get focused more. I don't know, I've been trying to take more deeper breaths before my races, and besides just jumping around talking to everyone else and not focusing on myself. I've been trying to work on that more, but sometimes it slips. Sometimes I have to look back and talk to my opponents and stuff because I just want to be friendly with them.
So that's cool. You're kind of finding that balance too, where you can still be just as much of yourself as that expressive person who's always letting the world know how she feels, and that locked-in veteran who's always a force to be reckoned with on the track.
Yeah. I don't know. I like both versions, but I kind of feel like being energetic is more myself, and if it bothers other people, I'll definitely tone it down, but
nah.
I feel like I don't push it too much.
Yeah. It's nice to know that you're in a place where you can feel at least a little unapologetic about being yourself, because a lot of times, especially in high school, it's something that I forget about a lot. About the athletes I cover, there's a lot more to life than the sports they play. So seeking that belonging, I know for me, has always been a big thing in high school. And once I really started to take track seriously, I think that's where I started to feel a sense of belonging and pride to the sport. Have you felt yourself going on a similar type of journey where you've seeked that sort of self-understanding from becoming serious about track and field?
Definitely. I've noticed a lot changing about me, with my mindset. I feel like I found myself. I just started liking track, so it's been a pretty big journey for me.
Mm-hmm. What about the Gabby that maybe wasn't so fond of track? What would you have to say to her now, or maybe give us a little look back into what she was thinking?
Well, she was always complaining about the workouts and stuff, and I had to tell her that she needs to suck it up and that she has so much for her, so much coming for her in the future, and I wish she worked harder because she wasted 2 years of her high school track, but it worked out. It was all good.
Yeah.
And now I get to go to college for it, so it's awesome.
Absolutely. And even if you can be telling yourself over and over and over again about the wasted time, how have you shifted your thinking forward into making the most out of your opportunities now in your senior year?
I think that I just have to push myself for how I am now. I feel like even if I did work really hard 9th and 10th grade, I feel like I don't really know if I could have reached my full potential of I don't know. I think it worked out perfectly fine. I would change some things, but I don't think it would really have a big change for me now.
Yeah, that's good, because I think that illustrates that you've come out on the right end of it, because a lot of times that feeling of the what could have been can hold us down. it holds me down all the time. I think of, man, what if I actually tried my first 2 years? Because I didn't become serious until my junior year either. I would have probably considered more heavily going to college for track. But the way my track and field story has worked out, having not had that attachment for me personally, I was able to rediscover the sport completely on my own, and now I feel myself having a daily, lifelong, developing relationship with the sport, which is really cool for me. And how do you see your relationship with the sport developing day by day now?
I definitely look forward to it every day. The thing I look forward most is like letting all my emotions out on the track. Like, it's a good like stress reliever. I haven't like really found like a lot of stress relief in just working out and going to the gym. I feel like I still had stress, but this definitely like drains everything out of me. So it's really worked well for me, and I always just look forward to it.
Let's say when you were younger, I know for me throughout my entire life, before I even knew how to properly sprint, there have been few things more cathartic and good feeling than just taking a feel-good sprint. Have you always just loved seeking that thrill of being fast and running like the wind?
Yeah, well, I used to do another sport. I used to do softball, and the only thing I was good at with that was running the bases. So I would just I would be the runner, so people would hit, and then I would run for them.
So you'd be the pinch runner?
Yeah, so that was
wow.
my favorite. And I just really wasn't good at hitting or I don't know, anything else. So my coaches told me that I shouldn't be playing softball. I should be doing track. So that's when I joined track in 7th grade. So,
7th grade, wow.
Yeah.
So that was, again, those humble beginnings. Did you ever do any other sports besides softball and eventually track?
I did soccer when I was younger, but softball stayed with me for 7 years. So, yeah.
Yeah. Soccer's usually good for a lot of mid-distance and short sprinters, but for you, you kind of, again, developed into that complete sprinter. And now that you've had a lot of time to dedicate to each of the 4 even distance sprints, which would you have to pick as your favorite right now?
My favorite event?
The 100, 200, 300, 400. Those are the 4 choices I'll give you.
I think the 200 is definitely my favorite.
Okay. If you didn't win states last year, would that answer be the same?
Yeah, I just love the 200. I think it's the best. It's a great, it's just the best, amount of running for me. I feel like I can burn out easily in it, but I still have energy. It's, really good for me. I don't know. And there's a lot of, room for improvement for that. Because the 100's quick, but the 200, you got to, think about it a little bit. And there's still room for you to catch up if you're last or anything.
Let's consider where you are with the 200 right now. 24-18 indoors, and you've had several 24s and even 23 indoor splits for the 4x2. And I know you've been telling me that 23-second barrier has been a big thing on your mind. How did you kind of come to that realization that you could get close to that while you're still in high school?
I think kind of an indoor. And after running a 24-2 out my first race back for my open, open season or whatever.
At a dual meet.
Yeah, I know, what the heck. But that was when it was really nice out. So I haven't had good weather. I just really want good weather to break 24. That's my main goal. I really want to get 23, high 23. I don't know. I think after nationals kind of opened my eyes, it was really close. But even though it's a bank track, that definitely helped, but I'm really motivated to get that 23. I really need it.
Yeah. Any big particular meaning for you that barrier has in terms of what you're putting into the sport to get you there?
I don't know. I just know that my mom has really been just hyping me up about it. She really wants to see it happen, so her wanting to see it happen just makes me want to have it happen even more. I just want to make her happy with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Can you think of any moments perhaps along the way to get yourself within 1800ths of the 223-second barrier that she's been there for you when you needed her most?
Oh, definitely. She always is there. She comes to all my meets. She's always at the 50-meter mark telling me arms, but sometimes I can't push my arms that much, especially when the rain is getting in my eye, but she's always there for me. She always tells me when to push. She's good for that, yeah.
Did she run track back in her heyday?
Yeah, she did.
Was she a sprinter, I assume, like you?
She was a 200 runner, but she never broke 27.
27, but still, throwing the time out the window, I think that goes to show you just how the sport can really change our lives, because even if she ran a time that isn't going to be eye-popping, she still took all of those fundamentals away from it and is now passing them on to you. And look at you. You're one of the fastest in Section 2 history over the event, one of the fastest in New York State. I mean, you're the reigning state champion over the event. So even if you don't do another darn thing, you've still made it in the 200.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes her happy that she like is watching me do what she used to do. She used to be a swimmer, but it definitely makes her happy that I'm running.
Yeah. Might have to give these kids a few pointers. We got
dude.
The Radar Running Clinic. Is that what it's called?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I know that's what your track club is called when Nationals rolls around. But
yeah.
We're coming up pretty close to your final New York State Championship.
I know.
What are your goals heading into states?
My goals are to break 55. I'm only doing the 400.
So you're only doing the 400 in states?
Doing the 400.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I have prom on Saturday.
That's right. I know that's why
Crazy.
Harriet couldn't compete at states last year.
I know. It sucks. It's so bad. It just sucks. But I'm going to take what I can. I'm going to do the 400. And I hope I can break 55. And if not, I'll just break it in college.
Yeah. I mean, you have, either way, still one of the fastest combined sprint times between the top three. I already mentioned the super standards in all three, so you could have had that leeway to choose between either one. I'm curious, though. What's your prom date going to do about the prom schedule with states?
So he's going to do his hurdles. I think literally right after Feds, he's going to go in his car and drive to me. He better make it because I'm going to get ready for him. And if he's not ready, it might suck, but it's all right. Whatever.
Devin, this is serious business.
This is
right here.
A warning.
Got to give a huge shout out to Devin, though. Great friend of the show. And he just committed as well to college. He's going to Buffalo. Along with Kalai, our second guest. We're bringing everything full circle. Like I was telling you earlier, we got to do an alumni episode someday.
Definitely.
But yeah, in a great spot right now, it seems mentally. Physically, the tendonitis has to be a bit concerning, but how have you been able to shove that concern aside? Because as I've found out as well, this isn't your first rodeo dealing with that.
Yeah, I've definitely had like problems with my legs, like because I walk on my toes, so I always have knee problems. I have like inner foot problems, but my grandma and my grandpa are physical therapists, so they stretch me out and they massage me. They just try to help me, but running kind of just tightens up all my muscles even more, so it makes it worse. And my heel cords are so tight from walking on my toes, so it messes up everything in my legs. But it's okay because everyone has their problems and I can push through it and it'll just be perfect.
So that's your silver lining right there, just that drive to push through all the problems.
Push through all of it, honestly.
Yeah, awesome. These guys, they're
getting up there
the hard way.
And they'll be on this podcast soon in a couple years.
All of them, every single one.
Yes, every single one.
Please do not hold me to that. But please do leave a like if you enjoy this episode of In Full Stride. I got to ask you one more question, Gabby. If you could recommend any album or genre of music to anybody to get them in that sprinting mindset before a race, what would you recommend?
Oh my gosh, okay. No album, but Molly Santana is the best. I listened to that before States last year, before I won the 200. I listened to like all of her songs, and that's such a hype song. Like that's like such a hype artist. Molly Santana, the best. Love her.
I think I know what I'm listening to before I give you guys my next time trial.
Yes.
All right. Well, leave a comment on what you thought of this episode. Wish Gabby luck at States and at Marist moving forward. Anything else you'd like to cover before we say goodnight?
Nothing else is perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, stay healthy, and thanks for being my friend.
Yes, perfect.
I had to end it with the Jim Nance quote. Peace.